One thing I haven't forgotten is that we are building up to tomorrow night's massive heavyweight clash between Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou. Remember, of course, you can tune in from 9 p.m. tomorrow for the live watch-along on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. And I'm delighted to say we can do it all now in the company of the British heavyweight. Dillian Whyte joins us live on Drive. Hello, Dillian. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How's things?
I'm very well, thank you so much for coming on. Listen, we've got lots to talk to you about, and we'll get to the fact that you've announced a fight in the last couple of moments, so we'll talk about that. We'll also get your views on AJ against Ngannou, what a fight that promises to be, so we'll talk about that in just a moment.
Right.
But first, let's talk about you, because it has been an eventful few months for you. Of course, you were cleared to return to boxing after an investigation confirmed that positive drugs tests were caused by a contaminated supplement. How much is that a relief for you after what must have been a very difficult period?
It's crazy, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's stressful because when you've been deemed as guilty, when you know deep down you haven't done anything and you're not guilty, and it's just a matter of going through the process and people saying stuff about you, and then you can't really say nothing because there's things going on, and you have to obviously deal with it in silence and just take whatever been said about you publicly. It's stressful. It's very, very, very stressful.
Well, Dillian, listen, we're glad that it's all been sorted out now. We look forward to watching you fight again. Obviously, as we spoke about it, you have announced that Christian Hamer is your next opponent.
Yes.
I mean, what can you tell us about that, and how excited are you about getting back into the ring?
You know what? It's a good fight. Christian Hamer is a tough guy. He fought a lot of guys. He's very tough, and also we know each other personally as well, which gives it that little bit of when you compete against someone you know or a friend or whatever, it always adds that little extra needle or extra spike because we ain't sparred, but we train in the same gym, and obviously I know his manager quite well. I went up to Hamburg and trained at the gym a few years ago and stuff like that. And I know Christian well, but he's a very tough guy, and he always comes to fight. Obviously a proud Romanian, and them guys from that neck of the woods always come to fight. So yeah, it's a very good fight. I've been out for 16, 17 months or something now, so it's a tough one to come back to, but he's a durable guy as well.
Yeah, it's not long actually until the fight. It's Sunday, March the 17th. Listen, you've talked about in there, we know he did well against Tyson Fury. Obviously, David Price, he was beaten by David Price, but he did go the distance with Povetkin as well. So it's not an easy fight for your comeback, is it?
No, it's not, and he's got a lot of ambition, like I say, and he knows the way around. Good amateur, very good boxing skill, durable, and he knows this sort of last chance to learn for him, so he's got nothing to lose.
I've got to ask you, obviously, we know that you had to pull out with that fight with AJ. When you look at the state of the heavyweight division and what could have been, if you had beaten AJ, what do you think would have been happening now for yourself?
I would have probably been fighting Francis Ngannou. Obviously, I tried to fight him years ago. I was the first guy to over Francis Ngannou, a boxing fight and an MMA fight. I don't know if you guys remember, like years ago, I called him out and we did a press conference and Dana White threatened to sue at the end and nothing happened. I was calling Francis Ngannou like 3-4 years ago before even got into boxing.
Has it surprised you, man? His performance against Tyson Fury was incredible, but has it surprised you how much I won't say people have been calling him out, but how he's got these two big fights so quickly?
No, it's not surprising because the man's got heart. He's come from similar story to me. He's come from nothing. So when you come from nothing, everything you do that's positive in your life is major. Obviously he's trying to change his life and trying to cement his name in history. So I'm not surprised. He's not scared to fight anyone. He believes in himself, a big lump, got a lot of power, and he's tough because of his upbringing, his mindset, and where he's come from and his background. It's great.
Dillian, he is a big lump. In fact, he's a massive lump, right? And we've talked about this fight. Before this fight was announced, and when the Tyson Fury and Ngannou fight was announced, I was on there. We had Frank Warren on the show straight after it was announced. And when he came on, I was like, Frank, with all due respect, this is a little bit embarrassing for boxing. No, this is one of the big... And we watched the fight and we were all quite shocked, as I imagine Tyson Fury was, with just what was in front of him in Ngannou. Do you now look at this fight? We saw the weigh-in earlier on this afternoon, and he is twice the size of AJ, right? But AJ's got boxing experience, Ngannou hasn't. I know he's boxed before. How much, when you look at your opponent, you size him up, how much of the fight could be lost and won before you even step in the ring when you're sizing up your opponent, you go in the weigh-in? Because I just can't see him being knocked out. I really can't. He's massive.
As a fighter, I see things differently from Joe, you see, obviously as a fighter, I don't really fear or I look at size. I look at my ability, I believe in my ability and my relentlessness and what I can do, and obviously being tough as well and what I've worked in and stuff like that. And that's what AJ would be thinking. He's thinking, okay, I fought big guys, I fought strong guys, I got pedigree, I got ability. This guy is big and he's tough, but there's ways of getting to big tough guys because being massive is good, but also that muscle consume a lot of oxygen, and it also create a lactic acid in your muscle in your body. So AJ's just got to work on that and focus on and capitalize on that. And don't worry about his size and all that stuff. That stuff doesn't really mean much as a fight. We're heavyweights and we fight guys 7 foot, 6 foot, whatever the guys is. You just have to just go in there and be professional.
Sorry, but is there? I'm guessing you're going to say AJ's going to win, right? Is there any conceivable way you can see him losing this fight?
Yeah, Francis Ngannou could knock him out. He's a big, strong guy, and obviously, AJ is obviously a good champion. He's a good champion, Olympic gold medalist. Obviously, done a lot for boxing, and he's come back from losses, and he's got the credibility to do what he's doing. But Francis is dangerous. He's a big guy, and he can punch, and he's got something in him that not a lot of people. He's got that desire to come from nothing to be something. He's got that ability to push back against unseemable odds, you know what I mean? So you can never write someone off like that. It's like people that come from places that like me and him and those kind of guys come from, there's something inside of us that just basically you become accustomed. All you know to do is to fight and to survive, So I can understand his mindset, and that's what makes it dangerous. That's what we become good at doing, fighting and surviving and finding a way, and that makes us dangerous.
Dillian, I'm guessing you'd like to fight both of these guys, AJ and Ngannou.
Oh, I'd love to.
But with your kickboxing background, would you ever take Ngannou on in the octagon?
If you go back and look at the interview after the music, I said, I'll fight you in boxing, I'll fight in MMA. I'm serious. A lot of guys in boxing say, oh, yeah, I'll fight in MMA, but they just start rubbish. I would actually fight in MMA and in boxing. I've done it before and I'll do it again. I'm brave enough to...
Yeah. Or mad.
Challenge someone. No, because a lot of guys will want to have it at their advantage. I want to test myself in both sides of the waters, the deep and the shallow end.
Okay, let me ask you then, irrelevant of what happens in this fight tomorrow night, do you still want to fight Joshua? And if so, when would you like that to happen?
Hey, I'm gonna have this fight, and then I'll try and fight again. I want to fight 3 times this year, so whichever time they want it, I'm ready. I'm trying to fight 3 times this year, 4 times if I can.
Do you want Joshua though? Do you still want him again?
Yeah, 100%. We have unfinished. We have unfinished business that I'll fight him even 10 years from now. Even when I'm old and retired, I'll still come back to fight him.
Dillian, I've got to ask you, I don't know if you've answered this question yet, but who wins this fight then, and how do you see it going? You know
what? It's kind of hard to say, but I'm gonna go because of my boxing experience and the fights I've had and the training I've done and stuff. I just think AJ stands edge. Everyone's saying Francis, but this is boxing. Francis is bigger and his stuff, but people forget AJ is 6'6", 6'7", and he weighed in at 252 pounds. He's a big guy, and obviously AJ is a puncher. Let's not forget it. Francis is strong, but Francis is a puncher in MMA, but he haven't shown true punching power in boxing. AJ is repeatedly showing consistent punching power throughout his career. There's different in throwing it in MMA. There's different between being strong and showing explosive punching power. So I gotta go with AJ. A lot of people is gonna say, yeah, whatever, but I gotta go with AJ in this one.
Okay.
I ain't got nothing against Francis as well. Obviously he can win. I think he can knock AJ out because sometimes AJ's mind can sort of wander. We've seen a fight where he's good and then his mind sort of wanders into the abyss and then it comes back, and then you can't be like this, Francis. You're going to be switched on from round 1 and get the job done.
Dillian, listen, thank you so much for coming on. Before I let you go, I mean, there's for legal reasons, there's lots of questions we can't ask you, but you've been out the ring for a long, long time. I'm looking at you now. You look like you're in good nick. Let me ask you personally, are you okay? Are you good? Are you well?
That's a question that I asked myself, but like I said, I just do what I know to do. I don't really think, I just do what I know to do, man. It's to survive and keep pushing, man. Not to sound like a tough guy or anything, but I don't focus on, I just focus on, I'm not doing this to me, I'm doing it for the kids, man. So I just focus on that. That's all I focus on,
Well, listen, it's good to see you. We're big fans of yours. We were gutted when the AJ fight didn't happen. We hope it does happen, and it's good to see you looking well and positive as well. We'd love to get you in the studio for a proper chin wag at some stage. I know you've got this fight coming up. I don't know if we could do it before the fight or certainly after it, but we would be honoured to have you in the studio. Okay.
Maybe after, because I got to come for the Fabio Wardley fight in a few weeks, so maybe then we can sort something out.
Okay, well, I'll probably see you there at the O2. I'm going to that as well, so we'll have a chat then, Dillian.
Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And good to see you as well, Dillian.
Nice, Dillian.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, man.
There you go, Dillian Whyte. I don't know if you guys watched that on YouTube, but he looks well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's... listen, there's people listening to this going, you didn't say that, you didn't say that. It's an ongoing court case. There's lots of stuff we can't talk about, right? We get in trouble. But what we can say is he looked really well. It must be so difficult for any sport, not just him, but for any sports person that comes under investigation, right? You're out, and all of a sudden, then you get found innocent. You can go back to work.
Yeah.
The pressure these guys are under mentally is so difficult.
I do like when Dillian Whyte's available to fight, because the heavyweight divisions, I think, is always better with him in it, because he's just good fun, isn't he? Like, fair play to him, because he'll fight anyone. That's one thing we do know.
I agree.
I mean, the wars he had with Chisora, like, they were some great fights.
Even with Joshua, you know, when he rocked him early on.
Yeah, he beat, a lot of people forget he beat Joseph Parker.
Yeah. That's a great win. When you see how Joseph Parker was against Deontay Wilder.
Exactly. Povetkin, the two fights against Povetkin, where he was winning the fight comfortably, bang, takes a shot, gets a rematch, beats him. So, listen, I'm glad he's well. I'm glad he's back, and hopefully
me too.
We'll see that AJ versus him part 2 again.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.